This is an instructional video for Autumn Leaves, harmonizing from the lead sheet. The first thing we want to do is talk about the chord structure. We will not be using any of the chords that are in parentheses, rather just the large chord symbols. So for the first measure, we've got an E flat in the melody tied over to the downbeat of the next. The way this works is that the melody note first functions as the third of the chord, and the tied over to the next measure represents the seventh of the ensuing chord. So what we want to do underneath that is provide the right filler notes, and simply we're going to use this in the first measure, B flat and G. We're going to resolve that in measure 2 down to F and A. So let's put that together with the right hand pickup notes. We're going to play the E alone on the first beat, followed by this, and then we're going to move to the F7. Then we'll take these pickup notes going on to the B flat major 7 chord. Here's our melody note. We're going to just keep those F and A interval down there, and then we're going to move it down to an E flat major 7 chord. Going on with those pickups to measure 5, we're going to stay on that E flat and G, and underneath the tie across the bar we're going to move down to D and F sharp. These pickups moving into measure 7. And here's the only time we don't play a third. If you can see, my interval here is D to G with a B flat on top. So let's see if we can run through just that abbreviated form of the right hand with the pickups, starting at the beginning. Underneath that is G and B flat. Underneath the tie, we're moving down to F and A. Next pickups, stay on the F and A, and now we move that down across the bar line. Pickups again, we're going to stay on the E flat and G, and underneath the slur, pickups again, and here's our fourth. We're going to try it in tempo. From the beginning. So if you use that as a chance to just listen through and watch, we'll do it one more time with a count off this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're only talking about that first phrase because in your preparation you're going to be going up to measure 15. It's just a repeat again of that same material. The left hand, we're going to talk about 4 core positions. We're going to start out in a 5-finger position for the left hand on C, and then going up to G. Each measure is going to consist of 2 half notes. The first one's going to be the root of the chord symbol, followed by the second one, which will be the 5th of the chord. Sometimes that 5th will be up, so you can clearly see the distance of a 5th. Other times, as in measure 2, we're going to use F as our root, and instead of moving continuing up the keyboard to another 5th, we're going to take that 5th and bump it back down to where we came from. So you'll see this kind of cycle going. Here's measure 1, up a 5th, down to measure 2 root, and we're going to take that 5th and we're going to put it underneath So it's actually a fourth that we're going down, but it's still the fifth scale degree of the chord F. From that position, so this is, you can see, is from C to G. We're going to then move down here. And don't get confused, I'm just showing you with two fingers so you can more clearly see the distance of the fifth. You'll actually be playing this in this manner. So measure 3 would be B flat, up a fifth for the third beat. Next measure is E flat, root. The fifth of E flat, thinking again is this way, but that would take us too far away. We're going to put that B flat down here. Measure 5 takes this hand position and we just slightly adjust it down to an A, a half step down, and then we need a diminished flat fifth for this chord. So normally, perfect fifth is here. We're going to make that flat, and we're set to go. Next measure, it calls for a D root. A is our fifth. And that steps us down really nicely to G, and then up to our fifth, and then back. Okay? Let's play this chord structure, if you will. You can watch one time through. I'll just do half notes, starting right on the first full measure. C root, the fifth, stepping down to the new root of F, back to our fifth of F, lift the hand, new root, the fifth, new root, the fifth of that chord, down a half step to A, here's our flat 5, D is our new root, here's the fifth, and stepping down to G, up to the fifth, down. Now no talking this time through, and just give you a count off and you try to play that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you were able to follow along in the music, I ended on the downbeat of bar 8. Take a moment and see if you can practice that in two ways, both kind of memorizing it by looking at your hands just to get that pattern, and then also by looking just at the chord symbols and seeing if you can feel your way through the keyboard. Should be very easy. The next thing I want to tie in is the way we're going to put the hands together. So we'll start right at the first full measure again. The nice thing is that each measure is going to start with the fifth finger in each hand. That will be either tied over, or we'll actually get to strike both fingers at the same time. In the case of measure 1, we're going to be here, and we're going to come next event is this one, followed by this, and then that again. And then we're going to resolve it underneath this tied note to here. Again, we're not talking about specific rhythm at this point, we're just talking about order of events between the hands. First measure, downbeat, is going to be here. I follow that with the harmonizing third. I go up to the fifth. I play the third again. And then we come down to our F7. All the while, I've got this tie still going across. Okay? Let's do that one more time. Measure 1. The fifth. And then stepping everything down to our F7. I'm going to take a second break, and I'm going to do my pickups. And here I come together again with fifths in measure 3, fifth fingers. And I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. So this is a little bit different because we don't have a whole note in the melody. Again, those pickups to measure 3. Then the final step is we're going to step it down underneath that tied melody note. Last time, pickups to measure 3. Pickups to measure 5. Again, this is just sequence. the order of events between the hands, okay? So pickups to measure 5 again. 5th fingers, right hand, left hand, flat 5, right hand, and we come down to the D. And I'm going to take the pickups to measure 7. Okay, now we're going to talk about the actual rhythm of the accompaniment. So I'm going to start right on measure 1, the first full measure, no pickups, and I'm going to count out. So here's the count off: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, listen real closely. I'll slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One more time. Take note of which beat the right hand chord comes in on. Okay? The second time I play it. The second time I play it, it will come in on, see if you get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you heard that time that the second time I play this is on the mid measure, the 3rd beat. I'll do it again real slow, and if you need to just back it up and try this a couple times, please do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're going to skip ahead to measure 3. We're just kind of learning the measures where the music kind of comes to a rest with the accompaniment. So measure 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Measure 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the structure is a bit different here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm placing now, the second time I hit this is on beat 4. The melody now is coming in on beat 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I resolve on beat 1. Going on measure 5 is like measure 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And measure 7 is much the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All by itself. We have a rest in the pickups here. Now the final element I'm going to do is to add in the left hand completely going back and forth between root and 5th, even in the measures that have a pickup. So here's Autumn Leaves, measures 1 through 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.